Good to see you back. Things calming down a little bit? Not yet. Everybody ready?
I just heard today that she's been in the hospital.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. This is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, and this is a regular meeting of the Cabell County Board of Education. I'd ask for you to stand with me as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with our celebrations this evening. Dr. Ashley Stevens.
Good evening, President Polly, board members, Deputy Superintendent Boggs, Counselor Hornbuckle-Myers. It's great to be with you. We have some athletes to celebrate today, and I'm super excited for you to get to hear about their seasons and help me congratulate them in winning the coveted county champion title. We're going to begin with girls track from Milton Middle School. We have coaches Aaron Frost and Chris Hatfield, and I'm going to invite one of the coaches up to tell you about their season.
So first off, just want to say thank you guys for letting us come this evening in recognition of our girls track and field team. Got two athletes here with me this evening. Unfortunately, this week was really busy with softball, all-star games, church camps and stuff. So I'll just go over some quick highlights with you guys of how our season went. So our 9 meets that we attended this season, each of them had about maybe 15 schools that attended. Our girls finished the season undefeated. The county meet was our 7th meet of the season. Our girls finished as county champions, and we had 20 girls that contributed to the team scoring. And then our last meet was the Best of the Best West Virginia Middle School Invitational. That was put on by the folks over at Huntington Middle School. Put on a phenomenal meet to showcase some of the best middle school athletes in the entire state. So with that, the girls also finished as meet champions for that event. Throughout the season, we had 5 different school records set, and we also had several athletes ranked in the top 10 in the entire state, and I'll go over a couple of those real quick. First off, we have, she's with us this evening, Charlie Shields. She is a 7th grader. She was ranked 1st overall in the 100-meter dash in the entire state, and 2nd overall in the 200. We also have Kinsley Methix, who is our 2nd girl here. She's a 7th grader, distance runner. She was 10th place in the entire state for the 800-meter run, 7th place in the 1,600-meter run, and then 4th place in the 3,200-meter run, which she also won that 3,200-meter event at that Best of the Best Invitational. Couple of other individual rankings. We had Hannah Cooper. She was an 8th grade thrower. She was 6th place in shot put and 7th place in discus. We also had Piper Nunn, an 8th grade thrower. She was 8th place in shot. And then for our relays, our 4x100 team was ranked 9th overall in the state. 4x200 team was ranked 4th in the state, and all of those athletes consisted of 7th grade girls. Our 4x400 team was ranked 3rd in the state, and all of those girls were 7th graders. And then lastly, our girls shuttle team, you might see a common theme here. All of those girls were 7th graders, and they were ranked 1st overall in the state. So I just want to say, unfortunately, Miss Smalley, your husband will have to wait another year until he can coach them in high school. So this has been a great group of girls to coach this season. More than half of them came out this season. We're also part of our other county championship teams this school year. Our girls team at Milton have now won 5 county championships this school year in girls cross country, volleyball, cheerleading, girls basketball, and now girls track and field. They excelled in those sports, and we were pleased to get all those girls out for track season, in which they exceeded in there as well. So again, thank you guys for letting us come this evening for recognition of our girls team.
Thank you, Coach. Next up, we have boys track from Huntington Middle School with coaches Matthew Coleman and Eddie Adkins. I'm going to invite Coach Adkins up to tell you about their season.
I didn't know we had to talk. Coach Frost, it's a tough way to follow up here. Thank you all for having us today. We have 3 athletes here with us. Appreciate them coming. 7th county championship in a row, so we've been extremely fortunate over the years to have not only good teams, but more importantly, good characters. Great kids. They'll do anything I ask, and super appreciative of them. He wrote down so many good stats, I'm jealous. Off the top of my head, we are going down. We're taking a few kids to Adidas Nationals. We're leaving Thursday morning. As of now, our 4x1 team is currently ranked 10th in the nation. And we have a hurdler, Kellen Reif, who's currently ranked 1st in the nation in the 100 hurdles. We have... even though we were kind of top-heavy with 8th graders, that's no knock to our underclassmen. Our 6th graders and 7th graders coming up are also a very special group. I'm excited to see what they accomplish over the years. That's him, but I think he wanted to come up here with me, my son. But super happy for him and looking forward to a successful cross-country season starting up here in a couple weeks. So thank you for having us.
And for middle school golf, we have the Barbersville Middle School team under the direction of Coach Howell. He can't be here, so we have a student who's going to tell you about their season.
Good evening. So I just want to say congratulations to everybody who won, and just congratulating Campbell Hetlinger for winning counties. And I think there was somebody from Milton that got second, and then me and Tylen Linville who got 3rd in the county. We definitely practiced a lot to reach our goal. We had we had Wyatt Maynard, who is going into 10th grade. He was really good, and just good stats coming up on the season. We'd only lost like few matches, but not really much to say. Just congratulations to everybody, and big win for us coming out, especially with the Zane Horn. But that's about it. Thank you.
All right, friends, you may notice that there is not a state champion softball high school team behind me right now, or a Gatorade Player of the Year, but there will be. I just got to figure out when. So my apologies. We will celebrate Cabell Midland High School's softball state champ win very, very soon. But in the meantime, if you guys are ready, we'll bring up some athletes for some pictures.
Move on to our it's not, and update and instruction and leadership services. Looks like Mr. Mann.
Yeah, good evening, Deputy Superintendent Boggs, Council Hornbuckle Myers, I'm sorry. Yes, that's it. President Pauly, Vice President Childers, members of the board. Tonight for our instructional update, we're going to talk summer programs. They are off and running, and I should say konnichiwa. I've been the administrator at the Japanese camp for the last week and so. I've been down there, and it's been great to see all of the kids. So in your packet today, you'll see a little form there, instructional update, it says there, and we'll have a couple of, if I can get this to work, updates for you. In that picture, or on the front page there, you see top picture there from Japanese camp last Friday. They have Taste of Asia that supplies their food for Friday afternoon, so they love that, you can see. And then the bottom picture is actually from Cox Landing, where they did a medieval quest reading camp there last week. So to start off, I'm going to give you all the elementary programs that are going on this summer, and you can see them there in your chart. And I got some numbers for you that were updated today, so if you want to write those down, you can. They're not on the chart. So the first program that we have is our elementary summer school, and that's for kindergartens and first graders. Right now, they're at Village of Barbersville Elementary, and we have 27 students that have attended that so far. The next thing that we'll be doing is Reading at the Rock. Now, that's not till July 28th, so we don't have numbers on that one just yet. Full STEM Ahead is at Spring Hill, and they run that camp for the entire month of June. They've had 43 students at that one so far. Project Lead the Way Camp at Altizer. They have had that running. They've had 20 students for that camp. Japanese camp is a 2-week camp. However, they have 2 separate camps. They've had 120 students there, but they have 60 for the first week, and they have 60 more right now. So that's a pretty big camp, but they have serviced 120 of our students so far. Lego Robotics at Highlawn, they had 22 students attend. The Summer Literacy Camp at Central City, they've had 18 students attend that camp. And then the Medieval Quest at Cox Landing has had 23 students that attended. So all told, with those camps, there were 273 elementary students so far in our county that have attended a camp so far this summer. If you flip to the next page, you'll see our secondary programs that are going on for the summer. Now, these programs all center around recovering credit for courses during the year. So our senior summer school, which has been running since the first day they could, so June 5th, to try to recover credits. At Huntington High School, they had 12 students come, and 3 of them have already attained credit to graduate. So they'll be graduating later this summer. And then at Cabell Midland High School, there were 4 students, and 2 of those have already recovered the credits needed. So we are at 5 students this summer already who will get to graduate that didn't get to graduate back in May. So that's fantastic so far. And I know that ends on June 19th on your sheet. Those students, if they do not recover it in that time, they will transition straight to our secondary summer school and continue that work at secondary summer school, which is the next one there. That runs from June 24th through July 18th. It is for 6th through 12th graders, and I have sign-up numbers for those so far. And this is updated as of earlier today. We've had 93 middle schoolers sign up and 169 high schoolers sign up to take courses to recover credit during that camp so far. And then the last thing on the list there is Climb Camp. That's for rising 6th graders and rising 9th graders at all of our secondary schools. And obviously we don't have numbers for that, but I can tell you normally at the middle schools, you normally have between 100 and 150 kids come to those at the middle schools, and you at about 200 or so in the high schools that attend those. So at each of those high schools. And that's all for our summer programs that we have scheduled. Oh, one more, I'm sorry. Extended school year. Even though that's not really a summer program, that's for our special education students to extend their school year. It does run through the summer, and it's going on at Village of Barbersville, and they've had 65 students attend so far. That number normally jumps up a little bit after this week, so I would look for that to go up. But right now, they do have 65 students attending ESY, Extended School Year. And that's all we have for our secondary programs and elementary programs for the summer. Do you have any questions?
So at that part, that last program you were talking about, can
Yes,
kids
ma'am.
from all over the county come to that?
Correct, yes, ma'am. Yep. And they do transportation for students and as well.
And are these programs the same as they were last year?
They're, as far as like these, some of them are the same and some of them change. Most of them are the same. A lot of the elementary ones, where their Title I funds is what pays for that, the actual school kind of decides what they want to run for their students. And they get to kind of design those programs from year to year. So that's how those are designed. That's why you see kind of the difference in the names and what they're doing. The only one on that would be a little bit different would be Japanese camp, and that's funded through a grant with Marshall. Helps pay for that camp. So
Now, that Japanese camp was at Altizer. Does it move from school to school?
it moved this year. Altizer was running I think they're Lego Robotics, yeah? No, Project Lead the Way. They were running that camp at the same time, so we had to move the
Oh, okay.
Japanese camp to Davis Creek. Yep.
How do the numbers compare, do you know, from last year?
From last year, of the camps that are running, I think we're probably pretty close there to what we had last year. Obviously, in the past, we ran a lot of different camps with other funding that we had through ARP funding and those kinds of things. So that summer would have increased attendance, being able to offer those other camps. But with that money going away, we had to make decisions on what to have, obviously, for the summer. So
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Anyone else?
No questions for me. Good reminder that I need to sign my kids up for climb.
There you go.
Got one,
Yep.
one in 6th and one in 9th. So.
All righty.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, next up, you have Cindy Dearborn from Huntington Museum of Art, and she's here to share a recap of the collaborations that the school system has had with the Huntington Museum of Art in the past year. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here to be able to speak on behalf of the collaborations between the museum and the Huntington Museum of Art. I have a few images and slides to go through and a few things to talk about. I'd also like to just recognize that several of our board members, Board of Trustees from the Huntington Museum of Art joined me this evening. And so I thank you guys also for being here. And thank you to you all so much for letting us have this opportunity. At the museum, our goal is to enrich the lives of all the people. Through our partnership with Cabell County Schools, we have the opportunity to provide a wide range of services that cater to a diverse range of educational needs, ensuring that the thousands of students we see each year from various grade levels and backgrounds have access to enriching experiences. Through our immersive and engaging tours, we offer an array of educational opportunities that align with the curriculum objectives of Cabell County Schools. During the months of September and October, 809 third grade students visited the museum for the Added Up tour. Added Up combines math and art through a series of gallery activities while students visit the Glass and Decorative Arts Gallery, the Two Meniere East Gallery, the C. Fred Edwards Conservatory, and the Education Gallery. I bet you can guess which one's everyone's favorite. Third grade state standards for math and art are incorporated into these tours. Close to 400 fourth grade students, teachers, and chaperones participated in this year's Look, Listen, and Move tour, which wrapped up in December. This is the 15th year we have collaborated with musician and Marshall professor Steve Hall and Jessica Fox and her accomplished dancers from the JDG Migration Project. Every year since the 1970s, we have presented an arts-integrated program to the students of Cabell County. The tour program, which merges music, dance, and visual art, provides a comprehensive experience for students based on the theme of rhythm. Kidlit, the first grade visual art and English language arts tour, finished its season with visits from all 18 Cabell County elementary schools. This year, nearly 850 students, teachers, and aides participated in the Kidlit tour. This tour engages students in active inquiry, exploration, and hands-on creativity. During the 90-minute tour, students create their own book, which addresses state standards as well as 21st century learning skills. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our wonderful volunteers at the museum. The education department is just a staff of 3 people. So in order to see these thousands of students that come through each year, we rely on our volunteer docent corps, and they volunteer for hundreds of hours to complete all of these tours to see all of the students every year. So just giving them a shout out. For several years now, the Huntington Museum of Art has partnered with Mrs. McElroy and Miss Reed from the AP Literature students from Huntington High School for a creative workshop day. Students go on guided tours analyzing various forms of art and are then asked to use one of the art pieces to craft a writing. Most students create poems, but any genre will work. Afterwards, they share and compile their writings. Following a fun lunch out, the students return to the museum studios to work on an art project. The experience reminds students that writing is a form of art, and it can be very powerful. It also allows them to combine their skills of analysis with another genre, visual art. It is one of our absolutely most favorite days that we have at the museum. We love seeing those AP Literature kids come up every year. Each year, we also work with Miss Workman, Miss Haynes, and Miss Salter and their elementary age tag students from the county to provide enriching activities during visits to the museum. Activities include making paper and pottery, guided tours of the Tropical Plant Conservatory, and nature trails. This year, we saw students from grades 1 through 5. Our commitment to providing these specialized tours helps us meet the unique learning needs of every student by enhancing the understanding of various subjects and fostering critical thinking skills. The Young Illustrators Contest. For more than 25 years, the Cabell County Reading Council has held an annual contest for Cabell County students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Students are tasked with illustrating covers for their favorite book. We have a long-standing relationship with the Cabell County Reading Council, and for many years have displayed the winners of the Young Illustrator Contest in our education gallery. This past January, not only did we display the artworks, but we held a special reception for the exhibition to honor these young artists. In addition to the winners, members of the Cabell County Reading Council, members of the Cabell County Board of Education, art teachers, HMA staff, parents, grandparents, and siblings all came out to cheer on the winners. It was such a great evening. We loved being able to do that and plan on doing it again next year. Winners were selected from Central City Elementary, Meadows Elementary, Salt Rock Elementary, Barbersville Middle School, Huntington High School, Cabell Midland High School, and the Cabell County Career and Technology Center. Portfolio is our yearly middle and high school art exhibition, which showcases the exemplary artwork of students in the tri-state region. Each year, local art teachers select student works to be displayed in one of the museum's gallery spaces. An award ceremony was held on April 12th, where awards of recognition and excellence were awarded to students. This year's judge was HMA board member and Marshall University Dean of the College of Arts and Media, Marie Gintart. 222 student artworks from 15 tri-state high schools and 8 middle schools were featured in this year's exhibit. Of those 222, 87 were from Cabell County students from Cabell Midland High School and Huntington High School. So Cabell County had a very strong showing of art this year. And in addition to that, we want to congratulate Serenity McNeely, who was the winner of the 2025 Janet Bromley Excellence in the Arts Award for her ceramic piece, Aquatic Dancer. The award winner attends Huntington High School and studies with art teacher Leslie Smith. So congratulations to Serenity. Equipped with materials and supplies, the museum's teaching artists travel to after-school locations throughout the school year and guide students through art lessons and activities. Studies have shown that participation in after-school programs can improve academic performance, improve classroom behavior, and encourage positive health outcomes. These photos are from Culloden Elementary's after-school program, where I have the pleasure of teaching every other week. I enjoy it so much. The kids are just fantastic. And summer camps. Each summer, hundreds of students take part in camp at the museum. Camps give children from 18 months to 12th grade a chance to explore their creativity and learn new skills with HMA teaching artists. Camp options include Pitter Patter for ages 18 months to 3 years old. It's what we like to call the hot mess camp. Young Explorers for pre-K students. Art Camp for grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Nature Camp for grades 3 through 5. STEAM Camp for grades 3 through 5. And Clay Camp for grades 6 through 12. Not only are most of our camp participants from Cabell County, but we also employ several Cabell County teachers to teach camp. This summer, we are also looking forward to providing professional development opportunities to Cabell County's art teachers. We have the art teachers scheduled to come on August 7th for a day at the museum, so we're very excited about that. Through our collaborative efforts, we are able to build a culture of creativity and support lifelong learning in our community. Thank you again for this opportunity to speak about our partnership. Does anyone have any questions?
It's not working tonight. Just thank you so much for, we know a lot of these things and we hear about them throughout the year, but to have a little recap to see
Yeah.
just how involved the museum is with our students is wonderful.
Well, we love it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. We look forward to seeing the kids every year. And some of my volunteers were just saying the kids are always so well prepared. And that's just a sign that the teachers are great teachers because they prepare their students to come to the museum. And they're always so enthusiastic when we get to see them every time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll just move right along to our update in operations and support. Mr. Boggs.
Okay, thank you, President Pauly, board members, and general counsel. I do not have anything to display up on the screen today. There's just two short slides, and I'll go ahead and talk about that. I know the Huntington Museum of Art has already left, but I'm as a former teacher in the district, an administrator, and knowing how great of a partner they are with the district, I truly appreciate that and the camps that they do, and being able to see all the students enjoy all they have to offer. And if you've ever had a chance to go up there, it's truly impressive of what they have to offer and what they do for our students. But to operations and support, we do have several policies that I spoke about last week that are on second reading today. I'm not going to read all those to you, but we do have these posted on the Cabell County website that are open for review, and they can comment on those. And we also have for third reading and possible approval 8120 volunteers, and that is that we are required to use a state-approved vendor for background checks for our volunteers, which is actually Identigo, which we actually in the policies are on second reading. We are just being consistent with state code to ensure that we are doing that with our volunteers, our employees, our adult students, and everybody that requires those background checks, that we're using one vendor for that. So that is for the policy updates. So on to several agenda items. This is a lengthy agenda that you have today, not only in the personnel section, but for the items for approval. So one of those that is going to be 4.11, and that is approval of asphalt for paving projects around the district. That is a total of $235,452. There are several items in different schools, and I'll kind of give you a brief highlight of that. Just some examples of what we're actually doing and how far that actually goes. Altizer Elementary, there's a small lot that's going to be paved at Altizer. Central City Elementary, we have several potholes. Culloden, the bus loop needs to be repaved. The salt that we had this past year was very harsh on our parking lots. Martha Elementary, back parking lot. Nichols Elementary, there's a gravel lot that is at the top of the hill to the right of the school. That is going to be paved. It did not allow us to actually plow that last year, but now that it'll be paved, we'll be able to plow that. Salt Rock, all of the parking lots at Salt Rock Elementary are going to need to be repaved, as well as a small lot at Spring Hill Elementary. Huntington High School has potholes. Barbersville Bus Garage has potholes, and we have some drainage issue at the transportation complex. In order to preserve the pavement that we have right now, we are actually having to mill some down and raise it in areas to ensure that there's proper drainage at the bus garage. We also have on the agenda 4.12. We've got a total of 10 buses that are going to be disposed of. And that is going to be on an online auction. We found in the past that if we do this on the online, state-approved auction site, we can actually yield better results from that. So there are 10 buses, and these buses range anywhere from 15 to 17 years old. They usually have an average mileage of about 141,000 miles. And of course, when you get that many miles and that age, you know, we need to make sure that we replace those buses with newer buses. This still actually leaves us with approximately 30 surplus buses that we have. So at any given time, we're going to have 15 to 22, 23 buses, surplus buses on the lot, because we have a bus that breaks down, there's a flat tire, they have to send another one out. So there's some days we may only have 2 or 3 out, other days we may have 20 out. So we want to make sure that we can still get our students to school on a daily basis. So these are going to be up for auction online. 4.13 is a surplus item auction. As you know, we built several schools. We have old desks. We've closed several schools. We try to reuse and recycle any of that material that we can in other schools if they're in good shape. However, we do have some tables, lunch tables that are older, and maybe some student desks that maybe has a little bit of surface rust on them that we need to be able to auction off. We try to keep, if they're in good condition, we keep that at the Barbersville Bus Garage, but we really need to alleviate some space and ensure that we're getting rid of things that can be auctioned off. It could be any type of entity can go out and buy those items, and it might be a good deal for them, or they sometimes will buy them in bulk and scrap those things. We also have some vehicles that we've got several vehicles that have high mileage. Different things don't work on them, and it's costing more to maintain those than actually auction those vehicles off. But again, that's kitchen equipment, chairs, vehicles, and cafeteria tables. I do have 2 items I'm going to ask that you remove off the agenda for today, and that is 4.17, page 10. And that is 4.17, page 10. And that is the interagency agreement with Cabell County Schools and Mountain Health Network. It's not that we're not doing that. We just actually, this interagency agreement was for only LPN students. However, we received additional information that they're going to be able to help us out with multiple aspects with our adult students, our LPN students, and our CTE students. So we're actually going to come back and try to put that on the next agenda with a revised agreement that covers about 3 different things. So we're still going to do that. We're just going to pull it off this one and then revise it and bring it back to you next on the next agenda. And then we also have 7.02. That is approval of a student expulsion, and that is 7.02, page 25. I'll give you a moment to turn to that one. That is 7.02, approval of student expulsion AM. I am going to request that we pull the information, and I take responsibility for this. I actually typed this in. There's information down here under the recommended action that is inaccurate with what you're going to see in the expulsion pack if you have reviewed that. So I'm going to ask that you remove that from this agenda, and then we'll bring it back to you on July 1st.
7.02.
Yes, ma'am. 7.02. Are there any questions regarding my update for operations and support?
I don't think so. All right, and then we'll move on to 2.04, communications from the superintendent. Do you have anything from superintendent?
I do. I'm going to read something. Obviously, Mr. Hardesty is absent today, so I'm going to read something on his behalf for his superintendent's update. So the LPN, regarding the LPN graduation, we currently celebrated the graduation of students in our LPN program at Cabell County Career Technology Center. It was a wonderful event, and we look forward to the impact of the bright group of completers we'll have in our healthcare community. I know he was able to attend that, and I know some of you, I believe, were able to attend that as well. End of the year for many of our staff. Most of our staff members recently completed their contracted days for the year, our 200-day employees. Many of our principals were finishing up today as well. It was a wonderful year of growth for our students and for our district. And Mr. Hardesty is very thankful for each and every member of our team and our contributions to the students and families that we serve. I wish everyone a restful and relaxing summer, and as we do, as he is off this week, we hope that he is enjoying his vacation and relaxing for that as well. We also, Mr. Mann gave you an update on several of our camps, so I'm not going to rehash those, but we do offer a lot of programs, and we do appreciate those educators giving up their time and those parents that are allowing and trusting us to have those students in those different camps. Looking ahead, moving into actually tomorrow is the summer meal program. So beginning this week, our summer meal program will be offering meals to students at both daily on-site locations and weekly meal boxes picked up at various locations throughout the district. We're grateful to be able to offer these options to our students as part of the USDA's federally funded summer food service program. We extend our appreciation to Travis Austin and his team and the food service for making this possible for our students throughout the summer. So what I'm referring to tomorrow is actually the 7-day meal boxes. I was able to talk to Mr. Austin today. We have approximately 850 families that have signed up for 7-day meal boxes, and those will be distributed starting tomorrow. There's allocated times. They were signed up, and they'll be checking those names off, and those are going to be at Salt Rock, at the Salt Rock Library, Antioch Baptist at Ona, Milton Elementary, Heights Saunders Elementary, and Cox Landing. And again, those are going to be tomorrow at various different times, and they had to sign up for that. However, we did receive some feedback. And I received a couple calls. Mr. Austin received a couple calls, and we appreciate when people bring something to our attention. And one of the questions was, why was there not one in the Milton area that we had in the past? Sometimes those federal guidelines change and those rules change from year to year. However, being that the school moved to Newman's Branch, we were actually able, if it was still in its current place, we would not be able to offer those meal boxes up there because it was considered an urban area. Actually, where the new school was built, it's actually considered a rural area, so we were actually able to offer those meal boxes by looking at the current guidelines in the map, being that the school had moved. So we appreciate those folks that had kind of reached out and had us look at that again and ensure that we were serving the community and the students and the families as the best that we possibly could. One last item is that I wanted to update you on today is when we get to you're going to see a very lengthy professional and service personnel section. One update on that is I do want to thank not only all of our employees, but our professional and service personnel offices. This is the busy time of year for them. They're working long hours. They do a phenomenal job, and they truly have the best interest of our employees, and they want to ensure that our employees that were on that reduction in force list get jobs back. I am happy to announce that in professional we had 84 that started off on the RIF list through this difficult personnel season. However, we'd like to have this number down at 0. However, we are only at 22 employees that are still on that preferred recall list. So we were able to really reduce the number of those employees due to multiple reasons, different vacancies, retirements, people shifting into different positions, maybe somebody moved, but they worked very, very hard to place those folks into positions and make sure that they have employment for next year. And again, they're still going to be moving and shaking around. We expect that number to go a little bit, shrink down. Hopefully we can get it down to 0, but time will tell with that. But all elementary educators that had received a RIF are off the list now. We only have one special education educator that is still on that list. Music, art, PE, and health are off the list. The majority that we see right now are going to be at that secondary level. But you're going to see that we're going to be able to hire. We are hiring new employees in several of those categories because we have those people off the preferred recall list. Also wanted to talk in terms of the service personnel. We have we started off with 67 in that were under the RIF, and now we are at 52. However, I know that does not sound as impressive as the professional personnel. However, being that that is all based on seniority, a lot of these people are shifting around to different positions, and as people land in positions that they bid on different jobs, that will kind of filter down, and we expect that number to shrink as we get closer to the end of summer, as those employees filter into those positions. We did have a total of 59 that have transferred into other positions up to this point, but I do want to thank our managers, professional and service personnel, but also we really want to thank those that are working in the office to ensure that these agendas are very accurate. And as you can tell, these are very long, and a lot of information is on here, and they take great pride in getting accuracy and getting these employees that were on that preferred recall list back into a position if at all possible. So that concludes the update. Or any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if you were here, Justin, if you recall, but we did have the Altizer, many staff members from Altizer Elementary came to voice their concern about the parent-partner position being cut from their schools. Of course, that's a part-time position in the Title I elementary schools. I'm wondering what the forecast is for that position. Do you know?
I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to speak to that. I don't have all the information to be able to give you that right now. But I can. I will get with Ms. Watts as far as the title funding, and I can update you as early as tomorrow on that. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
I want good news, by the way.
Any other questions?
All right. No other questions at this time. We'll move to 2.05, delegations to be heard, and I know we have a few people who have signed up. So go ahead and start that process.
All right. The first one is Carolyn Miller.
Good evening. Carolyn Miller, 2946 Piedmont Road, Huntington. During the recent discussions regarding delayed school start times, board members have expressed deep concerns about the need to accommodate the work schedules of families, employees, and the general public. Yet here we are at a school board meeting that started at 4:30 in the afternoon. If people wanted to participate in public comments, they need to be here even a few minutes earlier. My question is, whose work schedules are we accommodating? I've observed students barely able to make it here in time for their celebrations because of the scheduling conflicts. We have no way of knowing how many families and students have missed out because it was too difficult to get off work early or to meet the time crunch. I've checked the starting times of school board meetings in neighboring counties. Wayne County starts at 6 o'clock, Putnam County starts at 7, Kanawha County starts at 5. Cabell County's start time of 4:30 is certainly an outlier. I have to ask myself, what would stand in the way of moving to a more accommodating start time when doing so would send such a positive message to families and employees that this board is open and welcoming of their input and participation? Is it just because this is always the way it's been? What are the reasons? I urge you to consider establishing a more accommodating start time to meet the needs of the people you serve.
Dietrich Clark.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am a member of Kingdom Life Fellowship Church in Nitro, West Virginia. I am a Kanawha County resident. However, my husband and myself have been members of Kingdom Life Fellowship Church for almost 10 years, and we have become invested in the ministry as a whole, but more specifically, he and I play several roles, but one of the integral things that I do at Kingdom Life is Harmony Ridge Recovery Ministry, which is an addiction recovery ministry in Barbersville. And we go every single week. We're the only church that has been permitted for over 2 years to come in and do church for people in this addiction recovery facility. And the reason why I wanted to speak to you all specifically was because the idea that our church would have the ability to expand our outreach to Cabell County is thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling. We do church for them, and this is a 30-day treatment facility. So the majority of the time, as we're there, and we have a group of volunteers that goes, including our pastor, that goes and does ministry for them. But then they've always asked, hey, once we leave here, is there something, can we come to your church? Can we? And we tell them we're in Nitro, so it's a little bit of a stretch. Some of them end up coming to Recovery Men's here, and we've ministered there as well. But it would be wonderful, wonderful to have the ability to say, right here, right down the road from where you are, there's a place where when you get your kids back, you could probably bring them for daycare. We can help you with job training. We can help you. Don't feel like you're on your own. It would be amazing if you all would consider letting us expand our reach. We do quite a few things in the community, quite a few things, and I know you've heard from different people in our church about different things that we do, but this is my heart. This is my passion. I love seeing people come to our church, and I always tell them, I'm going to squeal when I see you. I'm going to squeal, and I'm going to hug you. So just be prepared, because the idea that you have decided to clean yourself up and change your life for all the people who are riding in the vehicle of your life is amazing, and we want to be able to support you. And if they can come close enough to Kanawha County, wonderful. But if you can't, we've got something right here for you. We won't let you fall. We won't let you fail. Do you have questions for me? And thank you for saying my name perfectly. Thank you, because I've been called Diet Rich. I've been called Deirdre. Thank you. I mean, flawless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Gerald Clark.
Thank you, members of the board, to President Pauly, Vice President Childers, and Superintendent Hardesty in his absence, and all the members that are here. I thank you for this time. I'm the assistant pastor at Kingdom Life Fellowship Church, and as you've heard previously, I'm also here today to petition you all for the acquisition of the old Meadows Elementary School building. You'll hear, and you've already heard, all the different programs we can offer. I think, though, I wanted to come with a little bit of a unique perspective in it all, having had access and actually experience in what we're trying to do already in the previous church that I attended in Dunbar, West Virginia. We also had the opportunity to acquire an older building and turn it into a center in the community and make it a place of hope. And what started off as, a daycare and after-school program, it blossomed into so many other things like fatherhood initiatives and helping people with food deficits and healthcare programs and preparatory classes for college, credit repair, first-time home buyers. All these things, what started as just the idea of providing a daycare and an after-school program blossomed, because the thing that we found is that once you invested in the people in the community then became invested in what we were doing. And then it just expanded and just blossomed and blew up from there. And, the reach from that program extended way beyond Dunbar. It actually extends into all 55 counties in West Virginia, and it all just started by the acquisition of one small building and just the faith of a few people that had the idea that they could change their community. And I see that possibility in the programs that we would do if we were able to acquire this building, and the things that we could do and how it could have such a positive impact on this community and the people, and just change lives and provide them hope. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak and for the opportunity for us to have this building. And if you entrust us with it, I don't believe it'll just sit there and not be used. We will put it to work, because as you've heard, we have people that want to work and want to make change and impact the lives of people in this community as well. So I thank you for your time. Did you have any questions?
No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tamara Gregory.
name's Tamara Gregory. I'm 17, and I just wanted to talk about what Kingdom Life means to me and what it's done for me. I've been going there since 2022, and it's completely, like, changed my entire life, like, my entire perspective of how I view life. Like, without this church, I genuinely don't know where I would be today. I don't know if I would be here today, but when I was 11, I started struggling a lot with my mental health, and I started smoking when I was 12, and 3 years ago, I almost tried to kill myself. And the only thing that stopped me was just church and a Bible verse that I learned from church, and I'm very happy that I am in a community where I can just be myself. Tasha and BJ are, BJ's our pastor. If you didn't know, you probably do. But I feel like they can change a lot of kids' lives. Kids deserve a place to go where they feel safe and surrounded by people that actually care about them. Just a place where they can forget about, like, personal problems, like if you're going through stuff at home, mental health, addiction, like, etc. And I know that Tasha and BJ can do it because they already have in our church. And I got baptized by BJ last year, and I haven't smoked since then, so I'm a year clean now. And I feel like God is definitely using these people to do amazing things, and I'm very excited to see what they do. And I know that God's will be done, and I feel like I love my testimony, and I feel like other kids should be able to share their testimony about how they've, like, grown as a person and healed from the stuff that they've gone through. And I think that if anyone can help kids, it's Tasha and BJ. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mona Sanders.
Good afternoon, Cabell County Board of Education. My name is Mona Sanders, and I'm a resident of Huntington, West Virginia. I live at 73 Hamel Road. I feel like that's appropriate to tell you my address. I'm also a parent. My children recently completed Cabell County Pre-K this year and will be entering kindergarten in the fall. I'm here today to share a vision that I believe could benefit not only my family, but many others in our community. As a member of Kingdom Life Fellowship Church, I serve in our children's ministry, an area that is deeply close to my heart. I've seen firsthand how meaningful it is when children have a safe, welcoming environment where they can be loved, supported, and encouraged to grow, not only academically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Right now, our church is exploring the idea of establishing a Huntington campus, and Meadows Elementary has been identified as a potential location. I wanted to speak briefly about why this matters to me, not just as a parent and community member, but as someone who feels called to serve with children and families. Our family, like many others in our congregation, live and work in Huntington. While we're committed to our church family, the commute to our current location in Kanawha County often limits our consistency of how we can serve, especially when it comes to the ongoing needs of our children's ministry at church. A Huntington campus would allow us to be more present and responsive to the needs of the family right here in our community. It would give us the opportunity to create a safe, nurturing space for children in Cabell County, just as we have done for those in Kanawha County. We envision using the community space in this Huntington campus not only for Sunday services, but throughout the week, hosting children's programs, family nights, outreach events, and providing support to working families. There's also a great potential to develop child care services in the future, something we know is a pressing need for many Huntington families, including myself. With the right partnership and space, this campus could become a hub for both spiritual growth and practical support, meeting families where they are with care, consistency, and compassion. This isn't just about convenience for my family. It's about bringing something life-giving to the heart of our community here in Huntington. It's about opening doors for children to feel safe and seen and supported in every way, which I think you heard. Thank you so much for your time and your consideration for this opportunity to serve Huntington in an area that's meaningful and long-lasting. Are there any questions?
No. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Lynn Goebel.
Good evening, President Pauly, members of the board. I'm Dr. Lynn Goebel. I am a member of Kingdom Life Fellowship Church, where I have been a member for several years, and I serve in quite a few capacities. If you are familiar with Bishop Samuel R. Moore, he is a resident of Cabell County and very well-versed in education. He taught at Marshall University. I grew up in his father's church, and his father purchased a school building that is still in operation today and being used as a church. And at Kingdom Life, we want to expand our vision beyond the four walls into the community as well. And we are asking that you would strongly consider that the Meadows Elementary School property is used by us, that we can come in. We believe this is a chance for us to bring the community to transform this space into a faith-based, life-changing opportunity. There's a scripture in the Bible out of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. It says that where there is no vision, the people perish. What that means is that without a vision, the people will suffer. And it is our mission and our ministry at Kingdom Life to make sure that those around us are not suffering. At Kingdom Life Fellowship Church, we carry this vision, not just for our congregation, but also for the entire community. So today we are asking you as the Board of Education in Cabell County to consider partnering with us to expand our vision beyond the scope of our local assembly or community and expand that vision even into other communities such as Cabell County to use the Meadows Elementary School property as a community center, a place of service, a place where we can offer support and transformation for the residents of Cabell County. We are hopeful that together we can move forward with seeing this vision come to pass, to impact, to empower, and to change lives within the community. Thank you so much for your time today, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Board President, that concludes delegations.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to Section 3 of our agenda. We're at 3.01, board member comments. Do we have any board member comments at this time?
No.
Here.
I think maybe we need to make a point of clarification because I would like for these folks to know that we're not disinterested in their presentations and we're not asking questions because I believe it's in our board policy that we don't respond or interact with delegations. I just wanted you to know that. That's the reason we're not engaging you.
Yeah, it can sometimes come across as off-putting, but
Yeah.
just following policy, but we are listening.
We don't, yes.
Thank you.
We are hearing you.
Thank you.
We are hearing you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Any workshop requests at this time? All right. If none, we'll move on to Section 4, our consent agenda. And Mr. Boggs talked about many of the items on the consent portion of our agenda. And if you have any questions, concerns, or need any clarification, please speak up now. And if everything is okay, then we can move to, we'll also note 4.17 has been removed. to a future meeting. So, other than that, we can move to 4.18, approval of the consent agenda, if there's a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to move for approval.
Second.
We have the motion from Mr. Abess, second by Ms. Neely. All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? No? Hearing none. All right, the motion carries. That takes us to section 5, our financial section. Mr. Rockton has some things for us this evening.
Thank you, President Polly. Good evening, board members. I do have a handful of items on the agenda this evening. You know, there's our usual stuff that you get from me, the monthly treasurer's report, vouchers payable. There are a listing of budget supplements and budget transfers on this one. That is to close out this year's budget, since we only have a couple weeks left of the school year. So there's some last-minute adjustments that we're requesting that's on the agenda. We also have the salary schedules for next year. There's not any significant changes. You know, the legislature did not adopt a pay raise for staff, so we're really just kind of reauthorizing everything. There were two minor revisions I just wanted to bring your attention to. It's in your packet, but you know, just for transparency purposes, just to outline those for you. One was the addition of a provision for a stipend for teachers that go through the letters training. That's for elementary. That would be in alignment with what we already have for TIP. The new teachers that go through their teacher induction program want to be able to offer a similar stipend to teachers that go through the letters program. So that is on the docket for approval this evening. And then another item dealing with service personnel, there has been a cap for many years. I don't know why. That was what was in our book, where there was a maximum of 10 service employees that could be paid a small stipend at the end of the year for serving as a notary. And we realized last year we actually had 11 that were eligible. And so we wanted to make that minor change, so that way that's a little more fair and equitable to our staff. So both of those items are included in the salary schedules as presented. If you adopt all the items on the financial section, both of those would be approved. If you have concerns, you could always obviously make a motion to amend, but as it's presented, both of those would be offered for approval. A couple of just real quick updates. The budget, I did receive notification late last week that the state has approved our budget for next year. I think some counties are still working through some things, but ours has been approved, so we are all set for next year. And I think that's it. That's what I've got for you this evening. Do any of you have questions for me?
Questions?
The work you do on that, that's a good solid work in that approval.
Yeah, it's quite a relief that is behind us. Won't be long before we start working on financial statements. You know, that usually picks up the second half of July. But at least the budget is approved, and we are all set to go here in Cabell County. So I always like to pass that along whenever we get that approval.
That is good.
I'm sure that's because you and your team's good work. Thank you.
There was a lot of work, and you guys saw the packets. You saw, you know, all the work that did go into it from a lot of different directions. And so I think we do have a good team. There's a lot of, and we do spend a lot of time, you know, just verifying things, making sure that things are accurate, that what we do present to you, we want to make sure it's accurate and not just something we threw together. We want to make sure that we try to do the best job we can with it. But our county was one of the first ones to get the approval. So
very good.
Good job, board.
Yeah. Thank you, Drew. All right. Unless there are any concerns, we can move to 5.06, approval of the financial items. We have a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. The motion by Mr. Best, second by Ms. Smalley. All in favor of approval of the financial items signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. We'll move to personnel. We have the professional section, we have the service section, and we do have one 6.03, which is way over there, administrative leave of service personnel. I would just suggest maybe we'll approve 6.01 and 6.02 together, and then we can discuss 6.03 as needed. So I will ask from...
Mr. President?
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize. On page 19, Ms. Rashana Smalley is
Oh.
leaving Huntington Middle and going to Huntington High School. If
Thank you.
maybe we could do that one first with Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Smalley recused and then go back and, if that's your pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we can do that. Thank you, ma'am. I missed that one. So I'll just ask for a motion to approve 6.01, the professional personnel section at this time. Just do it by,
Second.
okay. All in favor of approval of the professional personnel section 6.01 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? I hope you don't mind, we just did the whole professional section. We just did the whole professional section, if that's okay. I hope. Now we'll move on to 6.02, the service personnel section, and I'll just look for a motion for approval of that section.
I move that we approve 6.02 service personnel.
Okay, we have the motion by Ms. Childers and the second by Ms. Neely. All in favor of approval of 6.02 service personnel signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. That takes us to 6.03 on page 24 of the agenda. And I'll make a motion that we go to executive session for personnel issue. We have the second by Ms. Neely. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. We're in executive session for personnel matter. back on track now. All right, just need a motion to return to open session. Motion by Mr. Abest, second by Ms. Neely. All in favor of returning to open session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. We're back in open session, and I believe, Mr. Boggs, you have a recommendation for us to consider.
Yes, sir, President Pauly, and this is for 6.03, administrative leave service personnel. The superintendent recommends that the board ratify the administrative leave for a service employee, Mark Walls, with pay that began May 9th, 2025, and will continue till a resolution is reached.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do I have a motion to accept it?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second?
All right. All in favor of accepting the recommendation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Moves us to Section 7, special board items. We have one that has been removed. 7.02 is no longer a part of the agenda. So we'll have 7.01, 3, 4, and 5 to consider. And if there are no questions or concerns, then we can go for 7.06, approval of the special board items.
I move that we approve the special board items.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approval of the special board items, the student expulsions, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. The motion carries. Takes us to Section 8. And we need to have an update on current legal issues, so I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for that update on current legal issues.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Abess. And all in favor of returning to executive session signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're in executive session again. Thank you. have the motion from Ms. Neely, second from Ms. Smalley. All in favor of returning to open session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That just takes us to adjournment. I need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Ms. Neely has made the motion. Mr. Best has seconded. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. 5:50.